We built this country. Bled for it. I'm not gonna let anybody tell me I can't fight for it. Not after what everybody before me went through.
What's going on, everyone? Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing out there? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Just My Opinion Reviews. I really, really, really do appreciate it. This is Saturday, not Sunday, when I usually go live for my Movie News Roundup show, which I'm going to be talking about that in a second. This is Saturday, April, beginning of April. Got to pay that rent. I know nobody wants to do that, but it got to be done. It got to be done. It got to be done. But I am coming to you live today, ladies and gentlemen, for Tariq Nasheed. As you can see at the top of the screen, the banner, the background, the title of this video, the thumbnail of this video. This is my review, my recap, my live for American Maroon. This is Tariq Nasheed's 8th documentary film. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it because I have some strong opinions about it. I have, mostly positive. I'm not gonna crap on anybody that's been involved. I have no even reason to. I don't even know why I said that, but I'm really, really excited to be here. As you guys are coming onto the room, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up, leave a comment, engage with each other respectively. Let me know if you've seen this documentary when it came out a little over a month ago. I believe it was the end of February, right at the end of Black History Month. And I did post a review on my channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, if you can't be here for the live, I mean, you can always come back for the replay, but I already did post a review on my channel about a week ago. And here it is right here. Here's the thumbnail. I was going to go live last week, but I had a scheduling conflict with a colleague of mine, and I decided to push it here to another week. And I thought I was going to have another guest come today as well, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it. And so it's just going to be on my lonesome. And so, yeah, so thank you for coming. Let me know how you felt. Shouting out Mr. Kenneth Gardner. American Maroon is the bomb. I already watched it twice. That's what's up. That's what's up. I love it. Kenneth, did you watch it on the FBA streaming website, or did you get the Blu-ray or the DVD version? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I'm curious. Here is let me pull up the website for American Maroon if you guys want to check this out. This is american-maroon.com. Here is the website right here. Also, here are all of Tariq Nasheed's previous documentaries, and they're pretty good. Every once in a while when that comes up, some people are like, oh yeah, they're decent documentaries. They're not 100% accurate, but they're still much better than what we get in the mainstream media, which is pretty much nothing at all. And one of the reasons why I love this documentary itself is because this is just eye opener to some things that are just not taught in public schools or anything. And so again, this is the FBA streaming website right here, and I think it's like $9 a month. You can get the whole documentary if you want to stream it, but you also get all of Tariq Nasheed's other documentaries as well. And so if you just want to get your Black Power on for a month or so, just a few weeks, you can just pay $9 and binge all this in 1 month. And you get all of his lectures, his animations. I don't know how you guys will feel about the Crispy Puppet series and the the Adventures of Bucci Bear. I mean, I'm really silly, and so I find some entertainment out of that. It's not for everybody, definitely, but you can check all that out right here. We got 1804, The Hidden History of Haiti, Buck Breaking, American Maroon, and then all 5 Hidden Color films, and the films that I just talked about. Also, I have all of the documentary films right here. We have Hidden Colors 1, The Untold History of People of Aboriginal, Moor, and African Descent. And I'm gonna put this right here on top of my notes because I got some commentary on that. Hidden Colors 2, The Triumph of Melanin. Oh, let me hold it up to the camera so you guys can see. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Hidden Colors 1, Hidden Colors 2, The Triumph of Melanin. Also, we have Hidden Colors 3, The Rules of Racism, right on. And then one of my favorites is Hidden Colors 4, The Religion of White Supremacy. I still think this is one of my favorites out of all of his documentaries. And then we have Hidden Colors 5. I saw this one in theaters here in Dallas when he did host a screening here in Dallas. He wasn't here, but I went to the screening. Also 1804, The Hidden History of Haiti, another great one of mine. You know, just a lot of great information for your education. And also buck breaking. I have reviewed on my channel. Oh, let's not make a mess. These 3 films right here, Hidden Colors 5, 1804, and Buck Breaking. And also, of course, I have the review that I just posted for American Maroons or whatever. And so you guys check that out. Also, Tariq will be hosting a, I forgot the name of it, like an FBA conference in Dallas, my hometown. Born and raised at the end of May. I think the date is May 27th. And so let me take that off the screen. So I will be there most likely in full effect, unless I have to work, which hopefully I don't have to. But we're just gonna have to see. But yeah, let me know how y'all are feeling about this, and I'm gonna shout you guys out. I see that we have 41 people watching right now. Hopefully we can get 41 thumbs up. Dane C in the building. Yo, what's good? What's good already? Thank you for being here, Dane C. We also have Kenneth Gardner in the building. Yes, I did watch on the FBA stream site. I love it. Her real review. Hey, handpick waving. I haven't watched it yet. Is it going to make me mad? No, it's not going to make you mad. I mean, and if anything, it'll make you happy. It'll make you empowered. It'll make you feel good about yourself being a Black person in America, whether you consider yourself African American, Black American, FBA, ADOS, DOAS, whatever. You know, it'll empower you at the very least. It'll do it like Nicholas Johnson is saying here. The doc is fire. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And he answered your question. Not at all. You're gonna feel a lot of pride. You are. That's probably what I'm gonna talk about first. 3 and 5 are your favorite. Okay, Hidden Colors 5. And also The Rules of Racism. Okay, gotcha. And Kenneth Gardner, The Adventures of Bucci Bear is some of the funniest stuff you'll see. Yeah, I haven't seen every episode of that, but like I said, it's not for everybody. Also, before we get started, I know I'm talking a lot, and sorry for all the videos that I posted before we got started, but that's just kind of like how I like to do my thing. But if this is your first time joining me, please subscribe to the channel. The reason why if this is your cup of tea, what will you get if you subscribe? Well, I do have a playlist right here of all of the Oscar nominated films of 2023. I also do movie reviews as well. My latest was John Wick 4, spoiler movie reviews, and series reviews. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm covering Snowfall season 6, Power Book 2 Ghost season 3, Bel Air season 2, trailer reactions, some interviews with some stars, and just some other cool videos. But also, guys, I host a weekly movie news roundup show. As you can see, that says movie news roundup number 99. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see that. Number 99, and that was last Sunday. So the reason why that is significant to me is tomorrow I will be hosting my movie news roundup show number 100, and I am very, very proud of that. I mean, I really am. I love movies. I love talking about movies. And so if you like talking about all types of movies, I mean, I cover movies all the way from the small independent, the giant blockbusters, stuff that's nominated for the Oscars, Black movies, action, adventure, comic books, superhero, you know, and even the Black documentary films like American Maroons and Hidden Colors. And so I'm going to be talking about all of that tomorrow. And if you want to join me, please come back tomorrow. It's going to be going down 6 p.m. CST. So make sure you come back. Just like Ice Cube said on Friday, come back tomorrow, 6 p.m. CST. I would really, really, really appreciate it. Also have a nice announcement to make to you guys. But before I do, if you want an audio only version of this live broadcast, you can get it. There's a link to it in the description box of this video with buzzsprout.com. That's buzzsprout.com. I am on all of these platforms right here. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all of that good stuff. You can see the screen. And also, I'm on SoundCloud as well. So if you want to get your audio only version on, go ahead and get to download. And there's a link in the description. And other stuff, yeah, I've covered Jonathan Majors being, arrested, Power, Creed, Ant-Man. He's in all those films, Swarm, John Wick, like I said, my Oscar recap, and also the latest edition of Snowfall season 6, episode 7. It's a fire series right there. Let's see here. Kane Keefe in the building. Where can I see this documentary? Yeah, the FBA streaming site. I just went over that. I just talked about that. American-Maroon.com or FBAstream.com. I'm new to FBA. I mean, I know what you mean, but hey, no, you was born. I mean, if you're a Black American, you was born FBA. And so thank you for being here, Kane Keefe. Thank you for being here, Travis Looney. And thank you for being here, Mr. Know It All Rants. Right on. And just real quick, let's see here. Let me click the home button on this website. To answer your question, Kane Keefe, here you go right here. Here's the FBA streaming website. And also here is AmericanMaroon.com. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this documentary. Now, this is a long documentary, okay? It is his longest, Tariq Nasheed's longest documentary to date. It comes in at right under 3 hours, about 2 hours and 53 minutes to be exact, right here. If you don't know who Tariq Nasheed is, born in Detroit, Michigan, he is a anti-Black racism strategist, okay? He's he's not our leader, but he is one of the people out here in these streets that's trying to do his part. He is his own leader. I am my own leader, and you are your own leader, and he is just doing his thing. And you may not always agree with the man, and that's perfectly fine. Like some people always don't agree with my take on movies, and that's fine. But when it comes to anybody in the planet, you rock with what you resonate with, and you leave out the rest. And at the very least, I would say that Tariq Nasheed makes really great documentaries to where if you want something quick that you can watch in a couple of hours to get some information on your history, a perspective that you've never heard before, you can find that great information that's not taught in public schools, that's not taught in the mainstream media with his documentaries, which should inspire you to take it further and do your own research, to read upon the subject matter, to learn about it as much as you can in the short time we're here on earth, and then pass that information down to your children. I mean, and that's the king. That's the thing. I mean, one of the people said in the comments does this documentary make you mad? Who said that? And her real review. No, it doesn't. It's going to make you feel a lot of pride. And what I mean by that is, we Black people, we've been going through crap for the longest. And the only way we're going to get out of this is if we know our history, if we know our research. And we want to know our history for the sake of pride. Yeah, you want to feel good about yourself, but you also want to know your history so you don't make the same mistakes from the past, and that, we can actually move forward with some progression and not be stagnant and, not adhere to the status quo and all that. And so it'll take a long time for us to achieve justice. But I think it's worth it. It's not going to take 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. It's going to take at the very least a lifetime. And so, you may be saying to yourself, damn, that's a long time. Well, so what? It don't matter. You planned on living that long anyway. And so if you do have children, when they get older, if they're young, if they get older, like, what are you gonna tell them when they say, hey, mom, dad, what was you doing about racism? Are you gonna put your head down in shame? Or are you gonna be like, or they not? The thing is, you don't even want them to ask you that. You want them to just know from when they was at a young conscious age that you are feeding them the information that they need to know to better their life for your children, your children's children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, and etc. But like I was saying, man, this documentary is not 1 hour. I'm tripping. 2 hours and 53 minutes. It's very, very long. It's very, very long. And I will be honest with you guys. The first hour and 15 minutes, it was not my favorite. I'm going to be honest. It was not my favorite documentary. I didn't think that it was horrible. I'm not saying that it was trash, but it was taking me a while to get on board with everything that was being said in the documentary. I just was wasn't that interested. And one of the reasons why, one of the criticisms, and that's just my take on it, is I felt that it was kind of a repeat of his first documentary, Hidden Colors, the untold history of people of Aboriginal, Moor, and African descent. Now, it did kind of give you a different perspective on that, but I was kind of going in talking about, okay, I don't know anything about the Maroons or the Seminoles. Kind of heard about it in passing here and there, but I want a lot of information on that. And I'm not getting that information. I want to hear about the wars. I want to hear about Black people fighting back against the white supremacists and all these how resilient they were, and they never gave up, and they never retreated, and they were just, they wasn't docile, they wasn't forgiving, they were unapologetic about everything, about receiving justice and being free and not oppressed. That's what I wanted to see. And we're getting stories all the way back to the 16th, 15th, 4th, not the 14th century, but 15th, 16th, 17th century. Not that it's bad information. Again, it just really wasn't what I was looking for myself. However, if you are patient, my favorite part in this, and kind of like all American films are made, we have a 3-act structure, and this film can be divided into 3 parts. The first hour or so, the first hour and 15 minutes, like I said, focuses on the Moors invading Spain and ruling over them for around 700 years, and then them eventually pushing the Moors out. Also, Christopher Columbus and his relationship with Black people and how they migrated over to the Americas, North America, South America, all of that. And the history that I remember being taught when I was a child in elementary is that Black people just didn't have any type of history at all prior to Columbus, bringing Black people over from West Africa and enslaving us over here. And that is just not the case. Again, in this documentary, at the very beginning, it just talked about how, of course, Black people were native to this land decades, hundreds of years, well before Christopher Columbus got involved. I mean, if you hear Christopher Columbus, 1492, he sailed the ocean blue. I will never forget hearing that. It was the first, second, or third grade. I can't remember. And also, it gets into who are the Native American people. Now, there were some red-skinned, phenotyped Native Americans here in this land with the skinny pointed noses. And I wish I had some images that I can populate for you guys to show that. But, if you look up an American Indian, you're going to get the red phenotype with the straight hair, and how they came over on the Bering Strait hundreds of years ago and all of that. But those were not only the Native American people. There was also Black people here as well, copper tone, black skinned people as well. And I remember, here's a book right here. They came before, let me see here. They came before Columbus, the African presence in ancient America. I've had this book for quite some time by Ivan Van Sertima. You see the image on the cover of this book. Yes, they talk about that briefly, and I think that was the gentleman. They was talking about that in the 80s or the 70s, and that's just not taught in public schools. You have to, it's hidden colors, hidden history. Now you kind of have to go search for that. And again, they talk about a lot of that in the first Hidden Colors, but at the same time, this does give you a new perspective of this, even more about how the channels and the not the canal, but the current in the ocean from Africa all the way over here to South America leads into the Gulf of Mexico, how Africans knew how to navigate, and they were actually helping Columbus. I mean, you would think like they were talked about his ships, the Nina Santa Maria. Hold on, I forgot. Christopher Columbus, 3 ships. what are the names again? I forgot. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Now, I forgot which one, but they were saying that at least 2 of those ships were led by black people. And I'm like, what? And how Christopher Columbus, like when he was coming over to the Americas, how he knew it was a finesse. You know, he had to lie to his investors, saying that, okay, hey, we're trying to go to India or whatever, okay, because we're trying to get this, we're trying to get all these resources so we can come up in the world and do all this and have all this power. But it was a lie, it was a finesse, because he wanted the financing, he wanted the banking, and that was an easier sale to lie to his investors, saying that, hey, I want to go to India, you know. And if you know, even today, when you invest in something that somebody knows and can relate to, okay, they're going to be able, okay, I see where this can go, I can see where you make money. But if you say, hey, I want to build a spaceship to fly to the other side of the universe, they're going to look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I'm not going to waste my money and resources and give it to you. You're not going to build no damn spaceship to go on the other side of the universe. He wasn't trying to go to India. He was trying to go over to this new land that nobody knew. Well, at least that the white people didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? And so he had to lie. But he knew he had relationships with the Moors. He had relationships with black people that was still occupying Spain. And he needed some translators. Why did he need black translators? Because there was already black people over here in South America and North America, and we didn't know that, or at least I didn't when I was a boy. I mean, I'm learning all this history in the past 5-10 years and stuff like that. And so if he needed translators, what does that say? That black people, that African people have already been going back and forth from North America, South America to Africa and back and forth for quite some time. And those people knew, they had a common knowledge, they had a common language, and they was able to communicate with each other in some way. And Christopher Columbus needed that help. And we're not taught that. I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know what you was taught in school, but they make it seem like America was just, and it wasn't America, just this body of land over here on the West was just a barren wasteland. It was just nobody here. Nobody here. I mean, if you just really just think about that, that doesn't even make any sense. How is that even possible? That nobody was here but other than the red phenotypes Native Americans, and they just came in and filled up the land and populated it. I mean, come on. If you really think about it, that don't even make no sense, you know. But that's just what we were taught, or that's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? So correct me if I'm wrong. And to be honest with you, like, I watched this documentary when it first came out a month ago. I watched it in pieces, and then I watched it again. I finished. I had about 5 minutes left before I went live or whatever. And I'm like, damn, maybe I should have postponed this a whole nother week, because this is a lot of freaking information. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get nothing wrong or mess anything up, but it's just so much information. Like, I got 4 pages of notes down here. I'm taking notes, doing this, doing that. And then I'm like, oh man, this is my favorite part right here. But then they get into another topic. I'm like, dang, I forgot what they just talked about, because I'm trying to take in and comprehend what he said now. And it's just so much. So you're going to be having to, if you do get a chance to watch this, you're gonna have to watch it a good 5-6 times, because it's just a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. And so let me try to see what some of you guys are saying. Mr. Know-It-All Rants, I gotta watch it. Yes, please watch it. Please do. Only thing it can do is help you. It cannot hurt you at all. So please watch. I see that we got 50 people watching right now. Let me see how many thumbs up. If y'all can give me some thumbs up, your boy will really. Okay, we got 61 thumbs up. I love it. Can't keep gracias. Tressa C. Hey, happy Saturday. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you. Kenneth Gardner, it will show that many of our people fought for the freedom and survive against the odds, which can be inspired us today to be empowered by this great history. Yes, I was going to say that part for the end, but man, you're hitting the nail on the head. What's going on, Wisdom Master Views? Black Aboriginals were already here. Yes, they were. Those are Siberian Turks. Right on. Thank you. Great book. Yes, it was. Yeah, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. I can't believe I forgot that. Let's see here. Aboriginals here aren't the Africans that helped Columbus. The Africans that helped Columbus were under Islam and were Moors. Yes, they did. they did talk about that, and they talked about in the beginning, like the first hour and a half, they talked about the difference between the red Muslims and the black Muslims, the red Muslims and the black Muslims and the black Moors, and there was a difference. Sometimes they teamed up, sometimes they were at each other's heads, and they were saying that the red Muslims was teaming up with the Europeans to take us on. You know what I'm saying? So we were screwed a number of times over the years. Facts. Yep. What's up, Soto? Let's see here. Mr. Avery, there are some YouTube channels that talk about the history of Dr. Clyde Winters, black excellence and abundance in history with no chaser. Check out these channels. I definitely will. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I gotta watch this movie. I heard about it, but I have not heard much besides from our FBA family. Yeah, check it out. I thought I missed this part. What's up, Avery? No, man, you didn't miss nothing. You are right on time. You are right on time. But I want to go back to a comment that Mr. No, I want to save that. Something else that was interesting to me, and it was a colleague of mine. She was telling me that I need to check something about the origins of Thanksgiving. And because at the very beginning of this, I think it was around the 15-minute mark, Tariq was talking about how, like, the origins of Thanksgiving and how the turkey and how it, like, related to the origin was in Spain. And actually, I don't remember, so I don't want to misquote him. But that's something that I'm going to have to listen to. But one of the things that did stand out to me is the relationship that we have with the Moors, and how a number of us are the descendants, and how the color of the Moors is red or maroon, that color right there, hence the name, and how that was on the fezzes, how that was on the flag. You also have the Moroccan flag with the green star, and also how some of the Maroons, the Seminoles, would have red bandanas and satchels around their head, and that was just a part of their rally cry. What I also liked about this documentary is how he tied that into the film that came out in the 70s with Sylvester Stallone, or was it 70s or 80s, with Rambo, of how the guerrilla, like, if you watch that movie, Rambo used a lot of guerrilla warfare in the swamps, and that's how he eliminated his enemy. And he always had a red scarf on, a red bandana. Where did that idea come from? This documentary says that it came from the Maroons, the Seminoles. And I'm like, wow, that's quite interesting right there. I like how they did that. Even if it's not true, but I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that it is. I like that correlation right there. This is like, man, and I believe it too, because it's like every day, damn near, you hear about how the dominant society knows our history more than we do, and they steal it and erase the white face and erase the black face and put a white one on it, taking credit for everything. Like a lot of the monuments in Washington, all around the world. It originated with us. Just hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years ago, all these statues and monuments of black people with these big, flat, wide noses, and they knock off the nose because they don't want it to look like these were black people. All these structures and stuff, and so that kind of just ties into that right there. So I already do like that. Now, also, what was interesting is how it talks about the biology of black people and how different it is from white people. And like a lot of them, they didn't even, when they came over here and they was killing everybody, killing all the natives, killing all the black people and stuff, it's like a good amount of it wasn't even through warfare. It was just because their asses were sick and bringing over diseases like pneumonia and emphysema and the common cold. And that was just kind of unheard of, in the Americas at that time. And that's just how, smallpox and all that, horrible. Just great information. Ken Keith, Columbus's ships, I call them death, war, and disease because that's why they brought, right. Exactly. You hit that on the head. Let's see here. Man, that part was crazy. Yes, it was. Morehouse College. Let's see. Viral infections. What's going on, One Journey? Been a minute. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Yep, viral infections. What's up, Junior Network? Fired. Thank you. Wrapping a bandana around your head was also in the Karate Kid. It connected to martial arts. Right on, right on, right on, right on. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Now, one of the translators that they brought over from Spain, they said his name was Mateo da Costa, and he came from France. And he was teaming up with Columbus too. And it kind of sucks. Like, oh, you hear all these horror stories about Columbus, and you're like, man, he was such a bad man. He was evil as hell. And even if you read some of his journals, you could just see all of the heinous things that he did to people. So it was ridiculous. But black people didn't know. They didn't know any better. We are so loving and just all this stuff that we continue to get finessed over and over and over again. This is why we need to know our history, so that we cannot continue to repeat the mistakes from the past. We can't be doing that. Yes, One Journey. They will know more about our history because they write the story. They put blocks in place to delay African American non-whites from progress. Right. There was also 2 points in this documentary where they talked about how a lot of this stuff that is hidden to us is in the Library of Congress, of how there were black people and brown people already here well before Columbus, and we just don't know. And you have to fly to the moon and back with feather wings if you want to get access to it. And that just make it so ridiculously hard to do so. And it's just like, why do they want us not to know? They don't want us to be empowered. And I'm gonna jump. I like, the thing about it is, where is that image at? When you hear about, and I remember distinctly when I was in the 3rd grade learning about the civil rights movement. You see a lot of pictures like this of black people linking arms with white people, white supremacists, suspected white supremacists, with picket signs. And they always teach you about Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech in 1963. They don't talk about 1968. I can talk about that in a second. But they always show us pictures like this. They always show us pictures like this of us getting our ass beat and us getting bitten by dogs, and sticking water hoses on us, and just getting abused and being weak and docile, always being loving and forgiving no matter what. However, that I Have a Dream speech was in 1963, but a lot of us already know this. Some of us don't. Martin Luther King completely changed his tune in 1968 before he died. He realized that his dream was a nightmare. He's like, yeah, my I Have a Dream speech was a nightmare. And matter of fact, I may want to pull it up right now. That his I Have a Dream speech was a nightmare. He felt that he felt that he integrated his people into a burning house. Now, also after Martin Luther King was executed by the American government, what happened? The following week, for 7 days, there was something called Holy Week. And at the end of this documentary, it talks about how black people across the country just tore up the whole town, tore up the whole country, burning stuff, blowing stuff up everywhere to seek justice. And that is what enticed the government to treat us fairly and to give us civil rights and stuff like that, because we was tired. We were sick of the racism. We were sick of the oppression. We were sick of being mistreated. But they don't teach you that part because they don't want you to know that part. And that's unfortunate. Let me share this real quick. I want to chat if you can hear this. Yeah, I hear that. Oh, y'all can't hear that? Okay, hold on. Let me do something. Okay. What I'm trying to say is, okay, now you can't hear that. Well, what I'm trying to say is, before I play it again, is, in short, this documentary is teaching you that black people were not always forgiving. We were not always docile. We were not always weak. We've been fighting back against these white supremacists since before 1619. and that the descendants of the American Maroons, of the Seminoles, were also the same people on Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. They're the same people in the Black Liberation Army. These are the same Black people that that led the Civil Rights Movement. These are the same people that led the Black Panther Party. All these people that fight back. And in the mainstream media, they demonize, they try to demonize you for thinking that way. They show us the pictures and the images and the videos of Black people getting their ass whooped, but they don't want to show you the images of Black people fighting back and, you know, fighting for justice and all of that. They want to show you the 1963 Martin, but they don't want to show you the 1968 Martin. And so that's the point. That was at the end of this documentary. Okay, I'm about to play it again. Let me close that. Hold on once. Oh, I don't want to hit the. Okay, y'all hit a 1 in the chat if you can hear this.
I would say over the last few months, I've gone through that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, I'm not one to lose hope. I keep on hoping. I still have faith in the future. But I've had to analyze many things over the last few years, and I would say over the last few months. I've gone through a lot of soul-searching and agonizing moments, and I've come to see that we have many more difficult days ahead, and some of the old optimism was a little superficial, and now it must be tempered with a solid realism. And I think the realistic fact is that we still have a long, long way to go. I think the biggest problem now is that we got our gains over the last 12 years at bargain rate, so to speak. Didn't cost the nation anything. In fact, it helped the economic side of the nation to integrate lunch counters and public accommodations. It didn't cost the nation anything to get the right to vote established. And now we are confronting issues that cannot be solved without costing the nation billions of dollars. Now, I think this is where we're getting our greatest resistance. They may put it on many other things, but we can't get rid of slums and poverty without it costing the nation something. I must confess that
So there you go, guys. What is the point of me telling you this? Okay, we all love Martin Luther King, but even this man realized that, hey, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. So many Black people still today, unfortunately, well, I don't want to say that, that's too close to home, but so many Black people still today just they rather seek social acceptance from the dominant society instead of justice. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that I have the mindset of Black people just need to fend for our own and F everybody else. That's not what I'm saying. Like a Black only nation. That's not what I'm saying. If you're cool, you're cool. If you down for justice, you down for justice. If you're cool with justice, I'm cool with you, whether you're red, white, yellow, black, or brown. You know what I'm saying? But this desire to be accepted by everybody, this desire that we need to integrate and assimilate to what the dominant society wants us to do, it won't work. That's what Martin Luther King just said. And he said that they did it anyway because it helped their economics and how we abandoned our businesses and started giving them our money. I mean, that was in the 60s. Imagine if we never abandoned our businesses and all of that, where we would be today. Towards the end of this documentary, what is this brother's name? I want to make sure I get it right. He was one of my favorite in the whole documentary. It wasn't Professor James Small. Where is this brother at? Is this him? No, that's Sister Pat. That's Vicky Dillard. Okay, hold on. Do I not have an image? How do I not? That's Kaba Common. I think, yeah, it's Dr. Randy Short. Where is this image at? Hold on. No, I got to give this brother some credit because I love what he had to say. I love what he had to say throughout the whole documentary. But I got to load it up real quick because I got to hit this point because it was so good. Okay, hold on. Y'all be patient with me. My bad. I thought I was better prepared. Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, load up now. Oh Lord, now my computer wanna act all stinky. Okay, hold on. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. Thank you for your patience. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. I gotta load it up in another thing because This tab got too many images. Hold on. It's coming, y'all. Give me 10. Okay, here we go. Give me a few more seconds. All right, here we go. Where we at? Come on now, load up. Here we go. Dr. Randy Short. This dude is funny to me. I liked him in this documentary. And he was like, him and Vicky Dillard was saying like they just want you to assimilate. And there was like, no, assimilation is spiritual, cultural, psychological, economic, and political death. No, I don't want none of that. The end goal is for Black people. I'm gonna ask y'all something. Hit a 1 in the chat if you agree with me or not. Hit a 1 if you agree. Hit a 2 if you disagree. When I say that Black people are fighting for justice, what justice means to me is, because we live in a system of racism and white supremacy, I want to live in a system of justice. It's global. And like, what is a white supremacist? What is a racist? A racist white supremacist is a non-white person that wants to dominate through thought, speech, and action all non-white people on the planet through all areas of activity. Okay. Now, justice, that's a white supremacist. Justice is a system of, how do I want to say this? A global system where nobody is mistreated. And the person that gets the most help, and the person needs the most help, gets the most constructive help. Now, how can you disagree with that? Do you feel that people should be mistreated? I don't feel like anybody should be mistreated. Nobody, whether you're red, white, yellow, black, or brown. Do you agree with that so far? Hit a 1 in the chat. Also, let me know if you agree with this or not. The end goal, as Black people are fighting for justice, the end goal is for Black people to be in control of our life in all areas of activity 100%. I mean, do you agree with that or do you disagree with that? Should Black people be in control of our own life? Or should Black people be in control of our own life? Or should white people control Black people's life? Or should Asian people control Black people's life? Or should brown people control Black people's life? Do you have a problem with that? Because sometimes when I'm talking like this, somebody, you're a hotep, hotep. I'm not a hotep. I don't even know how to really define that, to be honest with you. I know it means peace. I'm not crapping on my hoteps. I love my hoteps. I got some people, some subscribers that are hoteps. That's just not me. And so, is Martin Luther King a hotep? Because Martin Luther King wanted justice. So does that logically make sense? When we talk like, oh, you're a hotep, that hotep stuff, I can't get down with that. No, the end goal is I just want Black people to be in control of our life 100%. That's it. Now, it ain't gonna take 10 years, 20 years, 30. It's gonna take a long ass time. It's gonna take a long ass time to do that. So that's what I want right there. That's the same thing that Martin Luther King wanted, and so if I'm a hotep, then Martin Luther King's a hotep. I was going to make another point, but I think I forgot because I'm excited. But what are those areas of activity? Economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. We need to be able to control our own education. We need to control our own economics. We need to be able to control our own entertainment. We need to control our own labor, all that. What is wrong with that? What is there to disagree with? No, Brandon, I don't want Black people to control Black people. I want to be controlled by the white person or the Asian people. They should control us. We're too stupid to control ourselves. If that's what you're saying, please unsubscribe, respectfully. This documentary gives you the knowledge and empowerment that we can do that. And like, I'm getting emotional when I was watching it because I'm just like, man, how can I just sit here today in 2023 and not do anything at all when all of these people 10s, 20s, 100 years before me fought for us to get to this point where I can't just stop. I can't just stop the fight. We got to keep it going, man. So that's where I'm at about that. it also got into the origin of Tupac Shakur. Everybody's heard of Tupac. His name. Let me see here. There was a slave named Diego who was a runaway slave that was killing the white supremacists. That's cool. Let's see here. And the Maroons, it's the Spanish word for Cimarron, which means runaway. So what a Maroon is, basically, American Maroons, is a black runaway slave. Now, that was actually, before I go on, let me look at some of these comments real quick. Okay. 1 second. Oh, I miss. Okay. Believe it or not, most of the comic book superheroes are based on African myths, right? And folklore heroes like the Red Hand Band. Yep. Right on. Keep it up. I appreciate the stream today on this Saturday. This is informative and eye-opening. I like how you come at this and break down your thoughts on this film, your review. Thank you, kid Frankey 7. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Does Tariq have this on DVD or Blu-ray yet? Check out the website. Matter of fact, is the website is the website in the description of this video? It is not. So let me do that. Let me do that right now. Sorry. I have the link right here. I'm just gonna put AmericanMaroon.com, www. Okay, enter, and we're gonna click save. Okay, check out the link in the description of this video. Hopefully that will answer your question, Mr. Know-It-All Rants. Thank you, and I appreciate what you provide for the community. Doing my best. I'm not an expert, but I'm doing my best. Some people was like, "B, you need to create a separate channel for Black people, stuff like this." And I thought about it. There's so many other people that are already doing that know much more than me. And if you gotta know, you gotta have all your facts together. But maybe someday, who knows? Correct every land they say discovered had people. No land was without humans. Right. Thank you, One Journey. Tariq should do a documentary next on Carthage. It's located in North Africa, and talk about Hannibal from Greatest Enemy was Black. Okay. Hey, more information, the better. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. African American, non-white are easily led when stripped of power. True. Gotcha. All right, this is when y'all talking about y'all can't hear. Yes, because the integration was burning the house, brother, and it's still burning, in my opinion. Yeah, you ain't saying nothing but the truth. This info was good. Many forgot Malcolm X and Martin were on the same page for a better country before they were killed. Right. Mashallah. Islamic way live. Right on. I've always heard about this, but never saw it before. Thanks, B. I ain't even got to the best part of the documentary yet. They're my favorite. We're gonna talk about that next as soon as I get through these comments. Thank you. What's up, Sunny Kiss by Team H? Also, y'all, hit a one in the chat if you're a subscriber of my channel. If you new here, I see some new names. Subscribe, come through, subscribe. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers. Also, follow me on Instagram at JustMyOpinion84. The more followers I get, the more content you will get like this. You know what I'm saying? If y'all like this content, I'll review all of his films, because I still haven't even reviewed the first Hidden Color. So we would be about half the country, at least, if we don't abandon our own economic growth. We'll be in a much better position. Definitely. The last 2 years of his life, Dr. King was a radical Black thinker. Yep. And everybody needs to listen to his speech on Vietnam War. And I remember when, I think it was 2016. And of course, I'm not saying I know a lot now, but I know a lot more than I did in prior. But I didn't know much at that time. I was still trying to team up with white people. Like, yeah, you're gonna team up with us for it was ridiculous. But I remember when when Philando Castile and Alton Sterling and Castile, the dude that was shot in the car. I can't believe I forgot his name. I was mad. I went to work the next day, I wasn't saying nothing to nobody. I was doing my job. This white lady came up to me. She gonna pull up a Martin Luther King quote from 1963. I have a dream, all this. If I knew then what I know now, I would have been like, oh, you want me to listen to Martin Luther King? Well, look at what he told me in 1968. And I just wish I could have put that back in her face. That he said, you know, he integrated his people into a burning house, and you know, white supremacists suck. But that's why you got to know your history. You know what I'm saying? Balance and justice. Speaking truth to power, I appreciate it. Man, it was one of the worst, man. It was one of the worst. Yeah, it was one of the worst things we did. That's why we got to know our history, so we can't make the same mistakes from the past. It's not hatred. It's just like, damn. No. And the thing about it is, like, when black people, when I talk or anybody else talks like this, okay, black people, we need to support ourselves and stuff. So a lot of people always translate that to where we're hating everybody else. That doesn't make some sense. Think about this. If you're in a, no, I don't want to use that example. But if you're in a relationship, male, female, whatever, male, woman, woman, man, two men, two women, or whatever, and it's an abusive relationship, whether it's verbally, physically, mentally, or a combination of all those three, and you say to yourself, you know what, I'm tired of you. You know, you're not appreciative of nothing I do. What do? We built the whole country from scratch. You beat on me, you spit on me, you cuss me out, you say I'm not shit, that I'm a loser, all this. You know, you don't know how to communicate and express yourself with words. You use physical violence. I'm tired of a bloody nose and a black eye and bruised. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I want to break up with you. I'm going to go and find another partner that's going to love and respect me the right way. Usually, anybody that hears this will say that makes sense. If you're in an abusive relationship, leave and go to somebody else that's going to love and respect you. Does that make sense? Hit a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Hit a 1 in the chat if you're in an abusive relationship and you say, you know what, I don't want to be in an abusive relationship anymore. Let's say my name is Brandon Keith Avery. Let's say that I'm my girlfriend's name is Jessica. Jessica, let's pretend I'm the perfect boyfriend. I cook, I clean, I provide the money, I pay the bills, I pay the rent, I do everything right. But Jessica, she talks to me like crazy. She disrespects me in front of my friends and family. She don't know how to communicate. She spits on me, she punches me, she kicks me, she's stingy, she's rude. And I say to myself, you know what, Jessica, I'm tired of you cussing me out and saying that I ain't shit and I'm a dumb nigga and all this. I don't want to be with you no more. I've tried this we've been together for 1.5 years. You know, you just treated me like garbage. I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. I want to break up. I'm going to go find another woman that's going to treat me the way I deserve. We're done. We're broken up. Does that make sense? Hit a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Okay. So why is that when the same situation is compared to black people in the rest of the dominant society, it don't get the same attention. It don't get the same respect. If we want to break our way away from the dominant society, from the white supremacists, and be like, okay, white people, okay, white supremacists, okay, dominant society in America, we built you a country for free. We abandoned our businesses and gave you all of our money. You lynched us. You did this. You did all these horrific things. I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. I'm just gonna go find all the black people or all the people that are really fighting for justice, and I'm gonna be with them. I'm gonna team up with them. Oh, you hateful. Or you hate everybody. You hate white people. You're evil. Like how am I making sense? I feel like I got lost in translation there. But I mean, why is that hatred? If I say I don't want to be abused anymore by the white supremacists, I don't want to be abused anymore from the dominant society, then now we're hatred. No, I just want to surround myself around people that's gonna love me the way I deserve to. Does that make sense? Am I crazy? Because they're the abusers. I don't get it. Am I tripping? Am I crazy? I don't think I am, but you guys tell me. Now, as far as history is concerned, let me see what I'm gonna talk about next. I also saw a video recently this black dude broke this down. And matter of fact, let me pull that up as well, because that was fire too. Get some good information today. Good information. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here we are. Yes. Let me pull this up. All right. We're going to stop the share. Hit a 1 in the chat if you can hear this. Let's see here.
Black people ever be able to be self-sufficient or independent? This question is obviously racist, but I will answer it as if it was asked in good faith. First of all, before emancipation, Black people created the necessary infrastructure for their independence and self-sufficiency. In the year 1738, the first free Black town was established in Mosey, Florida, which means that there was a free Black town before there was a United States of America. The first Black-owned media company, a newspaper, was established in 1827. All of this was before emancipation. Black towns and neighborhoods saved and circulated millions of dollars within their communities, like the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, North Nashville in Tennessee, Sweet Auburn in Atlanta, and countless others. There is a list way too long to fit into this video. And do you know what happened to those thriving, independent, self-sufficient communities? They were attacked by white folks. They were bombed. They were raided. They were terrorized. They were demolished. These independent, self-sufficient Black communities were fine and had existed for a very long time. The real question is, will whiteness ever be able to be self-sufficient and independent without Black oppression?
Right. And the answer to that is no. The reason why I brought that up, I came across that like day before yesterday. That information is in this documentary as well. We were always self-sufficient. It wasn't just Black Wall Street in Oklahoma at the beginning of in the 1900s. We've always done this, and it was thwarted by the white supremacists. And it also talks about how he asked that question at the very, very end. Will white people be able to be successful without oppressing Black people? No. They need us. They need our labor. They need our bodies. And in this documentary, it says that in America, the white settlers tried over and over and over again. The Europeans, French, the Spanish, all of them tried to create settlements over here, tried to create colonies, and it failed repeatedly. This one dude, I forgot his name. I like him as well. He was saying that some of the white supremacists should have got a trophy for the amount of L's that they took for trying to create so many colonies and fail. Here you go, right here. Chase McGee, another one of my favorites in this documentary. He was on it tough. He was on it tough. And in this documentary, at least the first hour and a half, yeah, they couldn't create all these settlements and colonies. They just kept failing. And the only reason that some of them did succeed is because of the work and labor and ingenuity of Black people. Get your education on, y'all. Get your education on. Get your education on. Now, of course, it also talks about the Gullah Geechee and the Great Dismal Swamp, which is in present day in Virginia and North Carolina. And there was a lot of swamps in Mississippi, in Georgia, in the Carolinas, and Florida. There was also a race of people called I'm getting this name wrong, the Yamasee, who came before Columbus. And they took on the British and the red, black, oh, okay, my fault. Now, about that was just the first half, or the first third of this documentary. When we get to the hour and 15-minute mark of this documentary, that is where it got really good to me. That is what I really did enjoy. That is what was advertised and promoted and marketed in the trailer for this movie, and it got me excited because it was showing Black people fight back. Now, we just got that movie, from Will Smith called Emancipation. And in that movie, it was right at the brink of the Civil War or towards the end of it, And one of the reasons why he survived in that movie, Emancipation, is because he knew the swamp area much better than the white supremacists. He was able to move and navigate and get around, and all of that guerrilla warfare tactics. He used that to his advantage to escape, to his freedom. That is what the middle of this documentary is all about, and I loved it. Now, during this time, now let me pull this up right here. This documentary focuses a lot on let me reshare this, the Seminole Wars. Now, I have heard about the Seminole Wars briefly as a child coming up, but I didn't really know nothing about it. The Seminole Wars, also known as the Florida Wars, were a series of 3 military conflicts between the United States and the Seminoles that took place in Florida between 1816 and 1858. And of course, this is a couple of years before the Civil War. The Seminoles are a Native American nation which coalesced in the northern Florida during the early 1700s, when the territory was still a Spanish colonial possession. Tensions grew between Seminoles and settlers in the newly independent United States in the early 1800s, mainly because enslaved people regularly fled from Georgia into Spanish Florida, promoting slave owners to conduct slave raids across the border. A series of cross-border skirmishes escalated into the First Seminole War in 1817, when General Andrew Jackson led an incursion into the territory over Spanish objections. Jackson forces destroyed several Seminoles and Black Seminole towns and briefly occupied Pensacola before withdrawing in 1818. The U.S. and the Spain soon negotiated the transfer of the territory with the Adams I Treaty of 1819. From the hour and 15-minute mark of this documentary all the way to about another hour, about 2 hours, 2 hour and 15-minute mark, this documentary will cover all of that. And in this thing, what they're talking about is Native, like let me go back. Native Americans and Seminoles, those are Black people. That's us. And we were kicking their ass. And during the time, they did not want to put, the media lied and did not want to say, okay, the Black people are whooping the American government ass. They keep trying to go into the swamps, and Black people are winning. We had that guerrilla warfare tactic. And I just read that it was a Spanish territory. Spain was like, okay, Black people, if you are able to get your people out of Georgia or the Carolinas and go over to Florida, y'all are free. So either Black people was either staying in these swamps and kicking ass, or they was fleeing to Florida and building up towns and colonies and all of that stuff. And we was kicking their ass. And they didn't want to put that in the papers. They was up here lying, talking about, okay, now this is Indians that are whooping General Andrew Jackson and all of that. But it was really Black people. We didn't know. They didn't put that in the media. That's what this documentary is talking about. But if you look at the letters, that the generals was going back and forth talking shit like, hey man, this ain't no Indian war, this is a Negro war, these niggas are whooping our ass, and we was beating their ass, and I mean that was killing us too. But we would like, my point is, Black people, we were not just slaves and enslaved people that was docile. Oh master, no, we always been about it, always. It's just that we wasn't as evil as them, and of course, you know, we eventually lost, and of course they talked about what happened after the Civil War. Because well, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but we was kicking their ass, man. We was kicking their ass, and I love that. It was yeah, facts. We fought back. Yes, we fought back. We always fought back. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know crap. I mean, this talk, yeah, I mean, you can go to Wikipedia yourself, but of course they're gonna leave some stuff out right here. We was whooping their ass, man. And yeah, we've also heard about the Underground Railroad, and what was his name? The white dude. It was John Brown. I know y'all heard of that name and how he helped Blacks escape to the north and then up to Canada. And of course, we heard about Harriet Tubman, but there was more than one Underground Railroad that was leading Black people into the swamps, into Florida as well. Why aren't we taught that? It's in this documentary. I'm just like, damn, I wish I would have known, because I mean, I grew up, look, oh man, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I remember when I was younger, I had them, like, I'm talking about like a little boy, like elementary and younger. I used to have I used to have a mindset like, Black people, we can't act like this. That's why the white people don't like us. That's why they don't accept us. And I was all docile and forgiving, and we had to act this way to be accepted and got to assimilate. No, man. And I'm losing my train of thought right now. I'm just sorry. I just got so much going on in my head right now. But I'm just like, you see how excited I am? Do you want the same energy? This is mad, like I'm excited right now. Imagine if every black person was excited as I am right now at the same time. Are you serious? Watch the documentary, man. And so all these underground railroads, they always showing like a white savior. That's what that Harriet movie was about. I didn't like that. Yeah, man. It's so I was trying to write my notes quick, but you can't. I didn't want to keep pressing pause on the documentary and miss stuff. Let me see here. What y'all saying? I know we never say anything about destroying another race. We just say build ourselves up and the world shut out every right. I ain't even got to my hero, man. I ain't even talked about what is his name? The half black, half native, what is his name? Osceola and John Horace. We ain't even got there yet. Welcome to the now. What is the discussion? What do you mean? What's the discussion? We're talking about American Maroon, the documentary. Yep. It's really not hatred. It's their fear of us empowering ourselves, which they think we'll do genocide of slavery like they did us. That's what it's fear, right? And I don't mean to sound slick. Let me update the banner at the bottom. American Maroon documentary movie review. Okay, recap. Maybe that'll answer something. Make it clearer. And I'm gonna put this in the title of the video as well. Oh no, it is there. Okay, yeah, this is we recapping the documentary American Maroon. Okay. Yeah, John. I see Kenneth Reed talking about John Horace. Okay, what's okay, so they also got into this treaty of the 1790 treaty that was led by Alexander McGoffrey. He was a Creek Native American and he was Scottish. And this is where they was talking about how if the black peoples can run away, if you're a runaway, if you can escape, then to Florida, then you're free. Now, the white supremacists did not like this. So they wanted to try to set up a colony in Georgia that did not have slavery at the time, because they had to do that, because if it was slavery there, it would compete with the white settlers and the work that they had to do, because they were trying to come up as well. Like I said, they were trying to build colonies and all that. And they used it as a buffer to try to stop black people from escaping to Florida for their freedom. Now, one of the things that stood out to me the most was in 1814 to 1815, the British built a fort to upheld their white supremacy in Florida, but then they abandoned it. Black people found the fort and took it over and was like, oh man, we got this abandoned fort. And it was probably some white supremacists that they killed, but black people took over the fort. And black people found out about this, and black people kept migrating to Florida. And it was called Fort Negro. Look it up, Fort Negro. And black people built this up. Andrew Jackson, the racist, he was super duper racist white supremacist, just evil to the core. Didn't want to have this. Yeah, we can't have black people fighting for themselves and building up colonies. I mean, if they got a fort, then they're going to build on that, create a nation for themselves. And no, we got to be on top. We want them as slaves, yada, yada, yada. So for years and years, black people tried to fight them off. There was so many abandoned weapons. They had this black Seminole by the name of John Horace. And let me see if I got an image of him. Badass dude. One of my favorite parts of the documentary. You know, he was leading every. Look at it, man. This swole chocolate black brother. He looked like a leader. You know, I would want to be with him in the war. I would want to fight next to him. You know, he lived a long death, but unfortunately, they said that the black people, the black Maroons, the black Seminoles killed around 2,000 American soldiers. And eventually we got beat. We couldn't do no toe-to-toe with the white supremacists. They just had too many guns. And they got a lucky shot off. They like fired a cannonball and it landed into like the gunpowder room and like destroyed the fort, and they got taken over. However, I did not know of any Fort Negro, man, at the beginning of the 1800s. Of course, there was other parts of the country where black people was enslaved, but there wasn't like across the land. You know, you had black people that was fighting for their freedom. And if you think about it, why would American history teach us that today? They're not going to teach us that. They want us to be docile and forgiving and assimilate. And what is assimilation? From Dr. Randy Short, spiritual, cultural, psychological, economic, and political death. Assimilating. And so I was watching this. I was like, damn, man, it was just so nice to see all these black people fighting back. We got another rider right here by the name of Osceola. He had a black wife, born in Florida, Native American and white. He was part of the Creek Civil War as well. He was cool too, but he got finessed. They talked about how they captured his wife and they tricked him. They was, so Andrew Jackson, the general at the time, he was like, okay, this is not a black war. I mean, this is not an Indian war. It's a Negro war. So he sent in two generals by the name of General Jessup and Wiley Thompson. Now, here is an image of General Jessup. And the reason why he is looking like that, and let me pull up this image too. So you see the gentleman in the middle with the orange, with the feathers in his head, and he got the orange cloth on over it with his hands tied. And then the guy right in front of him with his hands out with the coat, the dark coat. It's the same guy right here. The reason why he looks that way is because Osceola was like, man, F your treaty. Because what they wanted him, what Andrew Jackson got General Jessup to do, and Wiley Thompson. Do I have a picture of Wiley Thompson? Their goal was to try to either fight the black people out of Florida or sign a treaty for them to get out of there. But Osceola was like, no, F that. F your treaty. And in the documentary, he stabbed the treaty and was like, no, we don't want to negotiate with you. We're just going to continue kicking your ass. And that's kind of what happened. Now, at the time, this was a Jessup's proclamation. Those blacks who made up the third group of black immigrants had separated themselves from the Indian masters and come in voluntarily. Most of them did so after the Battle of Locachee on January 24th, 1838. This battle led to a conference on February 8th between Jessup and the chief Tuskegee and Halleck Hadjo, and the communications with the black chiefs August and John Cavallo. The chiefs agreed to assemble within 10 days at Jessup's camp south of Fort Jupiter and to surrender all of the blacks among them, whether their own or those captured from the United States citizens, and await for the decision of the president as to whether they may immigrate or might remain on the lands assigned to them in Florida. Jessup promised to recommend and grant a small tract in southwestern Florida. He made it clear that the blacks were to be separated from them at once and then sent to the west. The west, speaking of Oklahoma, we'll get to that in a second. Whether the Indians were permitted to remain in Florida or not, to the blacks, it was stipulated that, and crap, I don't have the rest, so I'm sorry about that. But basically, this dude right here was trying to get the blacks out of Florida because they wanted that territory and they wanted them to migrate over to Oklahoma. There's a reason why. But John Horse right here and Osceola wasn't having it. They was like, F y'all, we just gonna keep kicking y'all ass because y'all just need to leave us the hell alone. And so yeah, it was wonderful to look at all these reenactment scenes of black people fighting back, and it's just beautiful in my opinion. Another reason why y'all need to check out this documentary. But how many of y'all have heard of John Horse before? How many of y'all have heard of John Horse before? Let me know, because I'm curious. Now, let me pull this up about John Horse. Oh, where's it at? Okay. This brother here, John Horse, also known, he was born 1812 to 1882. So he lived a short life, but also known as Juan Caballo or Juan Cavallo, John Caraway, was mixed ancestry, African and Seminole Indian, who fought alongside the Seminoles in the Second Seminole War in Florida. He rose to prominence in the third year of what was to become a 7-year war, when the generation of black Seminole leaders was largely decimated, and the primary Seminole War chief, Osceola, I just talked about him, fell into the hands of the American military commander, General Thomas Sidney Jessup. See, I was just talking about him. This was General Jessup right here. So, and they captured Osceola's wife, his black wife. We don't know what happened to him. They even said that in the documentary. We don't know if she died. We don't know if she escaped or whatever. We don't know. But Mr. Horse here, he got captured too after. I mean, they was kicking ass, and him and Osceola got captured. They put him in this castle in Florida, and what they did to escape was they starved themselves so they can get smaller, slip through the bars of the council, and they escape and then kill more white supremacists. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're gonna kill evil. Let's kill all the evil people. Evil is bad. Evil is bad. I'm not saying people that disagree with you are bad or evil, but if you're evil, you're evil. Right on. We had to be self-sufficient. They never helped us. I'm Yamasi, at least part of my grandma already. I love it. I got you. Welcome to the now. Thank you for that. The 100-Year War. We fought back. I've been telling people this. Yep. I guess the U.S. didn't learn. We saw the same thing in the Vietnam War. They said the same thing. They said the next time that America lost like this was in the Vietnam War, guerrilla warfare. They couldn't F with us. Yeah, we are the descendants of fighters and survivors. Yes, I hate that term too. That's the miseducation, man. They got us tricked. I get upset when I hear people say that. I'm not my ancestors. Man, your ancestors, they was much stronger than black people today. Are you serious? So I'm with you, Antoine Films. I'm with you, man. I am with you. Y'all thumbs up the video. Oh no, you good. Welcome to the now. You good. Right. They talked about that as well. It was the Black Seminole Wars that ended slavery, not Lincoln. We was already fighting back. Candace is coming through with the facts. See why Hollywood won't make any movies on Black Seminoles or other blacks that fought for freedom against slavery, and this is why they don't want to promote certain movies. Nat Turner and his movie, they didn't want to promote that either. I mean, for other reasons, but even if he wasn't part of that debacle, they still wouldn't promote it. Now, I'm just not learning about John Horse, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, there's a writing about Osceola saying he was Negro. Hey, I believe it. I believe it. So let me see here. We talked about the Maroon colonies were Oregon. Yeah, they always try to say that Maroon colonies were just ghetto, basically, but no, they were organized communities with great economies. We talked about the Stoner Rebellion, Fort Negro, Osceola. And so we got Osceola was a rider, John Horse was a rider, and also Abraham, who also helped fight in the Third Seminole War. So we got all that. Also, they talked about how I mentioned Rambo earlier. They talked about how if you want a depiction of like the Seminole War or guerrilla warfare, Avatar, the first one, the battle at the end of it, that is a good representation of that. And I was like, you know what? They actually had the Avatar image come up, and I was like, you know what? I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. We got a super chat. Hold on. Let me thank you for the super chat. Let me give you a little video to say thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Where is M. Bison at? Yes! Yes! Thank you so much, that girl, for the $5.55 super chat. B. Avery, I'm late to the line, but I must say your excitement for this movie is contagious. I love it. I can't wait to see it. Yes, I love it. Thank you for that girl for the super chat. And if you want to see it, you can go here, AmericanMaroon.com. AmericanMaroon.com. Or you can, I got a Blu-ray signature right there. Or you can go to FBAstream.com/browse and get a monthly membership for just $9, and you can stream it. I only pay $9 and you get all the other films as well. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words. Let's get our education on, people. Let's see here. Yeah, so basically, like I was saying, the middle of this documentary was the best to me because it just showed black people fighting back. That we wasn't no punks, we was not weak, we was not docile, we were not just forgiving. Oh, I love him. No. We was like, this is bullshit. We want our justice. We want our freedom. You know, like, no. I mean, there was some black people like that, but and then in the mainstream media, they don't show us that. They show us the tap dancing and the cooning and, you know, no. Now, the end of this documentary just talks about like the last 45 minutes, the last hour, talks about how all of these American Maroon and Seminole spirits, how it's still alive today. And I talked about this earlier in the documentary, how let me back up. So eventually they did trick us, right? They were able to get the black people out of Florida and then migrate over to Oklahoma. The trick bag was there were still parts of America that had slaves. Oklahoma was part of that. So while you had some black people that were in Oklahoma that were slaves, you had the black Maroons and the black Seminoles coming over as well. And when they tried to come over and settle in Oklahoma, a lot of the white slave owners, the white supremacists, tried to recapture the black people. And we was always fighting back. And so some of the black Maroons and Seminoles went south through the Rio Grande across the border of Mexico. And there was a black president in Mexico at the time. I think his name was Vicente Guerrero. He was a black Seminole as well. And at that time, the white supremacists were trying to chase the black Seminoles, the black Maroons, but the black Seminoles that migrated to Mexico, those are they created like border patrol and was fighting back, and it was back and forth. They also talked about Bass Reeves in this too, because he was live around that time. But unfortunately, you know, it was just too many white supremacists, it was just too many forces, and you know, then the Civil War, and you know, we was eventually taken out, or a lot of us was. Civil War came, but a lot of the survivors from the Black Maroons and the Black Seminoles and survivors of the Civil War, those descendants were the people that created Black Wall Street. Now, I never heard of Black Wall Street till I was in my 20s. I'm 30, how old am I? 38 now. I didn't hear that until like my early 20s, mid 20s. Imagine if I would have heard of Black Wall Street as a child. Also, the first time I heard about Black Wall Street, what's up, Jaron? They made it seem like the white supremacists attacked Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, the Greenwood district, because of a boy that attacked a girl in an elevator or something like that. They was talking about in this documentary that the white people had already had planned to try to take over the town because of their jealousy and hatred, but they just used that as an excuse. They also said that black people, it wasn't just a slaughter, that black people was actually winning, kicking the white supremacists' ass. It wasn't until they had to retreat and then come back with bombs. So the first time I heard about it, I didn't even get the whole truth. It just shows that black people are always fighting. That's the point. I know I can't speak for everybody, but we had just been conditioned to be docile and forgiving. But no, we've been fighting since forever. And then there are those descendants were the people in the civil rights movement. Those are the descendants of people in what is that book I got? The Summer of 1919, where black people were just turning up all over the country. I wish, man, that Black Liberation Army, Black Panther Party, all of that, man. We're descendants of all of that. From the American Maroons, from the Seminoles. Now, Nat Turner was trying to reach the Black Seminoles, but the U.S. Marines caught him before he could reach the Black Seminoles in the Dismal Swamp. Yeah, thank you, Kenneth. And let me, I had that up too, the Dismal, let me pull this up. Great Dismal Swamp. The Great Dismal Swamp is a large swamp in the coastal plain region of southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina between Norfolk, Virginia and Elizabeth City in North Carolina. It's located in the parts of the southern Virginia independent cities of Cheesecake and Suffolk and northern North Carolina, counties of Gates, Passaquoddy, and Camden. Some estimates place the size of the original swamp at over 1 million acres. The current size of the Great Dismal Swamp is around 750 square miles. So black people was up here hiding in the Great Dismal Swamp, whooping ass, and the white supremacists couldn't do nothing about it. Until after a while, excuse me, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. At first I was like, what? What up, what's up, Lalamico? Sometimes there's nothing wrong with CPT. I'm just glad you're on time for wanting to know, and knowing is half the battle. All right, Joe. Sorry about that. That was corny. But I hear you. I hear you, Lamiko. I hear you. Every time somebody says it's knowing is half the battle, I think about that. But Jaron in the building. What's up, man? FBA, what's going on? Been riding for a minute. The movie was great and very informative. John Horse, right on, right on. John, where I got to pull up a picture of John Horse again because I just want to. Where's John Horse at? Where is he at? Where is he at? John Horse. Thank you, Jan. Let's see here. Bruce, hearing this perspective, changing information would create different kind of black people. Yes, they have a hard time finding forgive types. Right. Our ancestors went through so much just trying to live. Right. Facts. We need a live action movie about the Great Distance Swamp. Yes. Right on, right on. Appreciate y'all. Now, let me see here. Is there anything else? And also, towards the end of this, it just talked about like this book called Carnival of Fury. It was this black dude that just got tired of white supremacy. He went around killing about 30 white people in New Orleans, like in the 1900s, because he was pissed. Robert Charles, police was harassing him and going around lynching people, and he was like, "I'm tired of this bull crap," you know. And so he was able to. He knew how to make his own bullets. They trapped him in the house. He took out about as many white supremacist police officers as he could. Like, hey, if y'all gonna kill me and try to lynch me and lynch black people for no reason, I'm gonna kill as many of y'all as possible. Self-defense. Jasper Battle, a gentleman named Jasper Battle, they tried to finesse him out of $1,000, took $1,000 and kidnapped his son. So he was like, okay, F y'all. Y'all want to just say I owe y'all $1,000 for nothing and y'all to kill my son? He took out as many white people out as he could. In 1923, dude named Joel Pullen. Oh, y'all want to just lynch black people? Okay, fine. I'm gonna kill as many of y'all as I can too. When I was coming up, when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, yeah, I just heard lynch black people, lynch black people, lynch black people. No, it was a lot of black people like John. It was a lot of black people like Jasper Battle, Joe Pullen, Robert Charles. That was like, no, F this. Y'all gonna kill us, I'm gonna kill you back. Why didn't I hear about that? Man. It's upsetting. And I got this $50 super chat from W. Damn! W, thank you so much. I do appreciate the $50 super chat. Thank you, sir, for keeping up this amazing work. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, W. It's been a minute since I've seen you, man. It's been a minute. Hopefully, you guys can come back tomorrow. Hit a 1 in the chat if you're subscribed to my channel. Subscribe. Y'all, watch the documentary, man. Watch the documentary. Get your education on. American-Maroon.com. It's right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. There y'all go. Hey, and if you don't got $9, that's okay. You know, not better than you. But when Tariq Nasheed first started coming out with these documentaries, it was like $30 a pop, $25 a pop. Now you can pay $9 for one. And actually, the FBA stream, it's a free trial for 3 days. 3-day free trial. You know, you can watch it, cancel your membership if you don't want to pay nothing at all. But yeah, I went through all my notes, guys. I love this documentary. I do. It's very informative. You know, now I'm not, again, I didn't really care for the first hour because I thought it was kind of repetitive, but okay, whatever. And then towards the middle, some of the stuff kind of got a little repetitive. Like you would have 10 people say the same thing like 10 times in a row and then come back 5 minutes later and do the same thing, but no big deal. But man, you had Dr. Oyamont in this, Vicky Dillard, Sister Pat, Dr. Nia Vaz, Dr. Keno Miller, Dr. Atavia Jackson, she's very attractive, Dr. Clyde Winters, Raheem Shabazz, Paul Moreland and Phil Moreland. Of course, we got to have Professor James Small, Dr. Phil Valentine, Chase McGee, Tariq Nasheed, Kaba Common. Who else? And Dr. Randy Short. I'm pretty sure I left some people out, but I apologize if I did. But y'all, that is I'm gonna wrap it up. I did my my first review of this right here. This is the live recap. So check me out. I really do appreciate all y'all. Again, guys, last Sunday, it was my movie news roundup show number 99. Okay, number 99. So tomorrow is going to be movie news roundup show number 100. Number 100. Okay, so please make sure you come back tomorrow, 6 p.m. CST. Come back. Like Ice Cube said, for my movie news roundup show number 100. It's just a milestone for me. If you want an audio only version of this, get it at buzzsprout.com. Also, I'm talking about Jonathan Majors being arrested. What's going to happen with that? Power, Book 2, Ghost Season 3, Episode 3 and 2 and 1 is on my channel. Creed 3 review, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You see, got 3 brothers down there talking about it. John Wick, Swarm, my Oscar roundup, American Maroons, and also the latest episode of Snowfall. Let's see here. Where's that comment from? Welcome to Now. When are we getting Bel Air? Man, I'm sorry, I'm behind on Bel Air. I don't want to promise you anything. Either later tonight or tomorrow, Monday at the latest, though. Monday, I know I got to catch up. So I'm sorry, but this is a lot. It's a lot of stuff, and I'll be tired too. Thank you. See you tomorrow. So yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe, man. Help me reach 50,000 subscribers. We can do this, black people. We can do this. You're your own leader. Just read and watch and read, okay? But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I'm B. Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.